Hey Chili Heads, welcome back to Red or Green. Today we have a special guest in the Red or Green kitchen. We have Brian Stafford, the executive chef and owner of Sadie's of New Mexico, a staple here in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Hi, everyone.
So thanks so much for joining us. I'm excited to cook with you today. So
Yeah, it's gonna be
we've got
fun.
a lot of product here, but it's Saturday morning, so let's take this into make it into a brunch meal. And we're going to start off this brunch meal with not a mimosa or a Bloody Mary, but a margarita.
Margarita. So we here at Sadie's, we just came out with a margarita RTD, ready to drink in a can. So we're gonna feature that, and of course, like you said, brunch is good with Bloody Marys and mimosas. But today we're gonna do margarita. The restaurant, people do a lot of margaritas for brunch. We're gonna go into a little menu that'd be great for brunch. Some enchiladas with eggs on top, like Mama used to make
Sounds great.
at home. A little different from the restaurant, but um, why don't we have a margarita to get started? We'll sip on that a little bit, and we can talk about the products and the food we're gonna cook.
Let's do it. I'll play bartender and I'll get these glasses ready.
Yeah, so we recommend this margarita is fantastic right out of the can. We recommend that it's chilled, but we love to serve them like this, just like you would get in the restaurant, with a salted rim and a lime garnish and a little fresh lime on top. Um, and just like I said, just like we would do it in the restaurant, we recommend that you serve them this way. You don't have to. You can drink them right out of the can, and they're ready to go. The other thing is you can take one of these cans and make a couple drinks out of it. So it's a really good value in that aspect as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could see myself adding some strawberries and really changing it up quite a bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no end to what you can do. We're gonna kind of play around with our recipes like that.
Okay.
Um, our products are great for making all kinds of different recipes. You're gonna see that today. They're very versatile. They're very friendly to time-consuming stuff. You'll see we can make a salsa con queso in a matter of minutes using our salsa and just sliced American cheese that you get in the grocery store.
Ooh, I love the queso over at Sadie's. It's delicious.
Yeah, this will be a little different. This is more for the home cook.
Okay.
Um, it's really good for, you know, mom when she comes home after a long day at work. It's not very time consuming. You can put this together in a matter of minutes.
Wow. I'm excited.
Here's to brunch.
Brunch.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yum.
That's fantastic.
That is delicious. I'm gonna set so we can. So tell me a little bit about the history of Sadie's. How did Sadie's get started?
Well, the restaurant started in the early 50s in 1953, 1954. Sadie was my aunt. My mom is Betty Joe, Sadie's sister. And they're 24 years apart in age. And they're sisters. So as a result, Sadie kind of raised my mom almost like her daughter. You know, that
Okay.
my grandmother was in her mid to late 40s when she had my mom. We started the restaurant on 2nd and Osuna. The building's still there. It's a little tire shop.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it only sat 12 people. It had a counter with 12 stools at it. It's packed every day.
Wow.
My
That's
aunt
awesome.
Sadie did the cooking. My mom waited on tables and washed dishes. And they were there from 1954, I think, until uh, maybe the early 70s. They moved right down the road to the Lark Bar. And right next to the Lark Bar, they opened a little restaurant there, Sadie's, that only had about 35 or 40 seats. They used to serve food to the bar, and the bar would serve beer and margaritas to the restaurant. It was all part of one license. It had a pass-through window. They'd pass the beer through and they'd pass the food through.
Is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good story.
People would line up down 2nd Street to get in there. It was always a line to get in. It was always packed. They made great New Mexican food along with steaks and burgers and chops. Then in 1977, I believe, we moved from that location on 2nd Osuna into the Valley Bowling Alley.
I can remember eating with my parents over at the Valley, at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
was a great location. There was an opportunity there, up the stairs in the restaurant up there above the bowling alley.
I remember that.
And we were there until 1990. And then in 1990, we moved into our current location on 4th Street. Big, huge place.
Yeah.
Seats about 350 people. Bought the land, erected our own building, and it was time to move on. And the place has been busy ever since. We currently have 3 locations here in Albuquerque. We have a Eubank location at I-25 in Eubank, our Academy location at Academy in San Mateo, and then the original location down on 4th Street.
Wow. So your food is so amazing, and today we're going to actually get some of your home cooking. But how do you do it? How do you keep the food authentic, feeding all these hungry customers?
Well, I grew up with the motto of keep everything consistent. And, my mom and my Aunt Sadie and all of them, they were, you got to be consistent, keep the food consistent. So the recipes are the same. We use only top-notch ingredients. We source as much local product as we can, like our green chili. We contract with farmers from Hatch.
Oh, wow.
And we contract with other farmers in southern New Mexico. And so all our chili that we use is local, our red chili, our green chili, grown in New Mexico. And that's, that's a big thing. We have a concept at Sadie's. People come to a restaurant and they're hungry. That's why they go to a restaurant.
I'm hungry right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. We're going to have to get into the brunch. But at Sadie's, you come in, you get your seat at your table, and as soon as you sit down, we bring chips and salsa to the table, and you can have a basket of chips and a bowl of salsa.
I love the salsa.
And people love that because they can start eating right away, and they're hungry when they go to a restaurant. Then they order a big, beautiful plate of Sadie's New Mexican food. And you might be a little full from eating the chips and salsa, so you eat about half your plate and you take the rest of it home with you. It's good for a midnight snack, or the next day you can fry an egg and throw it on top and have a little breakfast. And that's part of our success, and that's what people do at Sadie's.
And one of the things that I hear all the time when people go to Sadie's, I hear that the portions are so large, and so I can totally see going and eating and then taking half of it home and having it for a midnight snack or the next day.
Yeah, we tend to be generous, and that will never change.
So all this said, you told us kind of the timeline and the evolution of Sadie's. You've got so many products here. What's the future of Sadie's? Tell us a little bit about these products.
Well, a lot of these products that we have, you can buy all over the country.
Okay.
We're in stores from coast to coast.
Is that right?
Yeah, we are. Some products more locally than others. We've also done some collaborations with some very, very good friends of ours and other businesses. We have this particular salsa right here is called Breggy Bomb. That's a salsa that we make for Alex Bregman. He plays for the Houston Astros.
Oh, wow.
Grew up in Albuquerque. Sadie's was his favorite restaurant.
All right.
He loves salsa. He loves our salsa. And this particular salsa, we developed a recipe for him. And he wanted some tequila and lime in the salsa.
There's tequila in it?
There is tequila in this salsa. Yeah, there's tequila and lime. It's very, very good. Very popular in the Houston area
Is that right?
in
Okay.
where he plays, and not just the Houston area, but all over Texas. It's fairly new, and it's been a very good collaboration for us. This one down here is a collaboration with Marble Brew. Wait, let me see. Oh no, this is Marble. This is our Marble Red and Green. So this is a collaboration with Marble Brewing Company. It's their red ale mixed in with our green chili salsa.
Oh,
So
yummy.
therefore you get the collaboration of red and green, and it's fantastic.
Is it
All
good?
these products are fantastic.
Well, I have to be honest with you. We used this product recently and made some nachos with it, and you're right, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And I know there's been some times where you can go to Marble Brewing and you can get a bag of our chips. We have our Sadie's chips here and a jar of Marble salsa, and you can sit down there at one of the tables, one of the community tables, and you can have a nice cold beer and have some chips and salsa right out of the bag and right out of the jar, right at your table.
Awesome.
It's a great partnership, and we just love doing collaborations like that with our friends. This particular salsa here is Lobo salsa. We have a license agreement to do a salsa for the University of New Mexico, and this is a very good salsa too. The Lobo salsa,
Is it?
yeah, and it they used it at the Lobo Athletics, and so these are some of the collaborations that we've done with good partnerships, business relationships. We have a ton of other products. These products, you're not going to get so much, they're more regional. You get these products more in New Mexico than across the country. But our regular salsa are hot, our roasted green chili salsa are not as hot. You can get that all over the country, yeah, from
So-
coast to coast.
Speaking of that, is there if someone's in Florida, or how are they going to buy some of these products? Are they available online?
They're available online. You can go to sadiesalsa.com. There are some grocery stores in the Florida area. I believe Sprouts is one of them that carries our product in Florida. They're also anywhere Sprouts is, you can get our product.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
There are some other grocery chains too but they change as you go across the country. Walmarts are huge for us. You can get it almost every Walmart, definitely regionally. But the Sprouts, I know all across the country.
But it can be purchased online, any of these products?
Yes, everything can be purchased at sadiesalsa.com.
Okay.
Um,
And we'll
right.
definitely link to that in the description box after this.
There is a link for
Fantastic.
everyone tuning in the description.
Awesome. So, which one of these salsas are we going to use to make this queso?
Well, we're going to use our most popular one, our hot salsa.
Awesome.
This is what you would find in the restaurant, as close as you would find to what we make in the restaurant. The restaurant salsa, yeah, it's a little bit different. So what we say is we encourage, if you want the salsa that's made in the restaurant, come to the restaurant and get it
Right.
and eat there. If you're, if you're in Las Cruces and you want some of our salsa, you can get it at tons of stores down there. You can get it at the Walmart, you can get it at Albertsons, Sprouts, all the major grocery chains down there as well.
And it is consistently, you mentioned consistency earlier, always consistently hot. So,
Oh yeah, this stuff it's got a good kick. It's not for the timid.
Right,
So
right.
we're gonna make a salsa con queso.
okay.
This is a very simple recipe using products that you can get in any grocery store. This is just your regular sliced American cheese. You use whatever brand you want. I recommend using, some of the choicer brands,
Sure.
but it's up to you.
Okay.
It comes out fine any way you use it. This is a sliced American cheese. Like I said, you can buy it in any grocery store. It's a simple recipe. You'll see that it'll take a matter of minutes to make this. It'll be a salsa con queso. Takes a matter of minutes to make this in the microwave. So all you do is you take this, and we're going to make some blue corn chips. We're going to actually make homemade chips to go with our chips and our queso,
Awesome.
our salsa con queso. We'll show you how to make these. You can buy chips. Everybody knows how many chips you can buy in the grocery store. It's easier. You open up the bag and they're ready to go. I like making chips at home.
Okay.
I just think they come out really delicious. You know, they're hot out of the fryer. It's a really cool thing. We're going to use blue corn tortillas to make these, and you guys will all see how that comes out. And so what you do is you just take this cheese. I've kind of separated it, but you just cut it into small cubes like this. We'll just put it right in this bowl. Let me move this bowl over here.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Get a little bit better of a picture. So we're going to use all of this cheese. This is 10 slices of cheese.
Be careful, I just sharpened that knife.
Okay, I'll try not to cut myself. You know, after working with knives for so many years, once you cut yourself a couple times, then you learn not to cut yourself.
Right. I definitely have done the same.
So what we're doing here is just a simple recipe that you can do at home.
Yeah.
And
you know, I love queso. So it's nice.
yeah, you're going to be amazed how this comes out. Once we try it, you're going to be really amazed. So we're going to
We have some comments in the chat.
All right, let's hear it.
Usy Trujillo says these margaritas are awesome. Highly suggest. Talking about the Sadie's margaritas.
Speaking of margarita.
they're fantastic.
Totally.
You can get them in Costco. We recommend buying them at Costco. It's a bigger pack, but your bang for your buck, you can't beat it. You can get them in every major grocery store in the state right now, along with all the little liquor stores, and they're everywhere. And people love them. They're delicious.
Not too much, because then I'll be a terrible soup cook for you.
Yeah, well, once we put this in, we'll have to take another sip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is brunch we're talking about here.
We have another comment from a user says, I love shopping at Sprouts. Great store. We're so glad that you're in Sprouts.
Yeah, we love Sprouts. They're a great partner for us. And eventually you'll be able to see more and more of our products in there as time goes on. But you can get the basic, the hot, the not as hot, and our roasted green chili salsa, which is fantastic. And you can use that for this recipe as well. We've decided to use our hot. It's our most popular. But this recipe with our roasted green salsa comes out really, really good.
Really versatile.
So
many different
you could take this whole jar and just dump it in there. But today we're just going to use about half. And we're going to save the other half for later to eat with some chips, since we have chips and salsa.
All right.
Okay. Basically, that's what you do. Put it in like that. Okay.
And so do you want me to microwave this for a couple minutes?
Put this on the microwave for 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Got it.
We'll check it in 2 minutes. Some people's microwaves vary from others, so we'll check it in 2 minutes. If it's completely melted, you mix it up and it's ready to go. Meanwhile, we're going to make some chips. So real simple. Take your corn tortillas. You can use white corn tortillas. You can use yellow corn tortillas. Today we're using blue corn tortillas. You just cut them into triangles. Okay. Cut them in half. Okay. Then you cut them in half again. And if you wanted to leave them big, you could, but then we're going to go ahead and cut them into quarters, into little triangles. And that's how we're going to get chips. Okay. We'll do the same with this. Our fryer we haven't behind us. I believe it can only hold so much, so we'll put these in the container here. Yeah, you want to separate them. Okay. And I'm going to let Angela go ahead and put those in the fryer. And yeah, 2 minutes. We'll check it. And by the time it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to cook those chips. So they should be done simultaneously. And we'll have some chips and some salsa con queso.
Awesome. We have another comment. They say, thank you for the link to the Sadie salsa. It's hard to find in New England.
Yeah. Yeah, that may be a little tricky to find it in a store up there, unless they have a Sprouts in their area. But we always say that there's a local store that you like to shop at anywhere around the country. You know, please go to the store manager and request that they bring in a product for you that you might like, especially our Sadie's stuff. But, you know, don't forget the link, sadiesalsa.com, and you can buy all these products and more products to come. Keep your eye out for that as well.
Awesome.
Right now, you cannot buy the margaritas at sadiesalsa.com. But we're working on getting that. You know, it's alcohol in a can. So eventually you should be able to do that. All right, let's check our salsa con queso. Yeah, very hot.
Looking good.
It's looking good. Look at that.
So how long do we cook these chips for?
About 2 or 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, till they're nice and crispy. They do not take long at all. So you're just gonna mix this up. I think this needs to go back in for maybe 30 minutes or 30 seconds
Okay.
to another minute. Get it real gooey.
I can do that.
It's
30
hot.
seconds?
Yeah, about 30 more seconds. And then we're waiting on our chips. Yeah, I'd say a few more seconds and those are ready
Okay.
for sure.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I think it's time to take another sip of our margarita. Enjoy our brunch. Cheers, Angela. Oh, God, that's good.
Good.
Really good.
Here we are.
So, Brian, do you have any suggestions for how we might go about frying those chips if we don't have a deep fryer at home?
I would suggest if you have just a regular frying pan, like I would use a cast iron skillet. Cast iron distributes the heat evenly, or even if you have a cast iron Dutch oven, you can make a makeshift deep fryer out of it. But that's what I would do if you didn't have a deep fryer. And I don't have a deep fryer at home, so if I make my own chips, I do them in my cast iron skillet. Yeah. All right, this is looking good. And then later on, after we do the salsa con queso, and we're going to try it and have it with our margarita here for brunch, we're going to make enchiladas. These are enchiladas the way that my mom used to make them at home. And we ate them for brunch, throw a couple eggs on top. I always like 3 eggs, but we'll see how many eggs Angela wants. And they come out fantastic. They're great for brunch. These are going to be stacked enchiladas. That's New Mexican style. But we'll get into that in just a second. And you guys can see this came out really, really good. So simple. 3 minutes in the microwave. American cheese that you can buy in any grocery store. Get that whipped up real good.
Okay, so here are chips.
Here's our
Not
chips.
Put any salt on there. There's some salt.
Yeah, we're going to use our margarita salt.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, we're going to use our margarita salt for the chips.
I love the color of those chips.
Salt those up a little bit. We'll even use a little of this salt too. So,
Same salt.
hey, yeah, it's the same salt. So, but you do want to salt your chips up, and you know, the saltier, to me, the better. So you can go easy on the salt. You can go light. You can go light on salt. You can go easy, or you can put a lot of salt. I like the salt.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, it looks really good. Now, here's the tale of the story.
All right.
It might be hot. Sorry.
That's money. It's good.
What do you think?
Really good. I'm just going to give you all
Oh my God.
a glimpse of what this looks like. Yum. Oh, those chips are perfect.
I wish that you guys out there that are watching this could taste that. You would not believe how good that tastes.
You know, and I'm glad actually that you only put half that jar because that's pretty spicy.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
10 slices of cheese, half a jar of salsa. Consistency of it came out very, very tasty.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So simple. Moms, dads, people at home, you want to prepare a meal like this for your family. This is great for parties. It's also great for just sitting down and having dinner and brunch on a Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Can't beat it.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, we better have another drink here.
Oh, yeah.
Before we move on.
Yeah, it's got a little kick. That salsa's spicy,
Yeah,
huh?
it's spicy.
Cheers, everyone.
So tell me what else we're going to cook here. We've got...
So now we're going to do a New Mexican tradition stacked enchilada with eggs on top. Now, you can eat this for breakfast. You can eat this for brunch. You can eat it for dinner. Anytime, day or night. It's great. And so we're going to get into that now.
Okay.
We're going to use some of our products to make a sauce. And Angela, if you wouldn't mind cranking up your oven on broil.
Okay, will do.
Because we're going to melt the enchiladas inside there. We do have some sauce that's already been kind of simmering on the stove. This is just a condensed cream of mushroom soup. And this makes a great creamy sauce for your enchiladas. You can make this into a casserole as well, and for parties. I know some guys that make it out at the fire station for their crew and the guys that have to cook. And they make a big tray of it and put it out, and it's like a big hit. So this is the condensed cream of mushroom soup. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to put it right in here into the pot, into the sauce pot with the sauce. We've got some already going. You want to get this nice and hot, simmering. Since it's a condensed soup, you want to add a little bit of water. So we'll just come back here. Yeah, okay. Good.
Okay.
Kind of swish it around, get all the soup off the sides. We have a spoon here that we're using. We'll kind of mix it.
Be a creamy sauce you have going.
It's really creamy and delicious. Now, I'll be truthful with you. My mother did not make it like this. She made her own green chili sauce when she would make enchiladas at home. This is a twist that I kind of learned through the years with a little bit of trial and error. And the one thing that we started doing with this particular sauce is you can add as much chili that you want to this, or you can add no chili. So if you're making it for kids,
Right.
or someone that maybe can't handle the chili heat, it's mild. Then you add chili. You can add diced green chili to this. Today we're going to use our roasted green chili salsa, and this stuff is fantastic as well. You can get this in grocery stores all around the country.
That's pretty hot, huh?
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. It's not quite as hot as our hot salsa, but it's got a good kick. So what we're going to do is...
You know, this is actually using the condensed soup like that is a great hack. I think I could probably get this on the dinner table in 30 minutes.
Having a hard time opening this one.
If I'm using your green chili sauce and some canned soup, I mean, I think I could get that on there pretty quickly.
There we go. Got a good seal on it.
Yeah.
So this is great salsa. Now, with this sauce, we're going to add the whole jar.
Oh, that's looking really good.
Yeah. You'll see how this comes out. It's really, really good.
So do you really eat 3 eggs on top of your enchilada?
Yeah.
So we've got a comment again from a user. I've eaten at Sadie's. Your food is awesome. Got
Thank
a big
you.
impact for sure.
Try these recipes at home too, using our products. I mean, it comes out really, really good.
We've also got a comment from the same user. When my mom made enchiladas with an egg on top, she called them Las Cruces enchiladas.
Well, okay. There is a kind of a story to that, yes. We don't really call them Las Cruces enchiladas anymore because they're everywhere. But I got it. That's kind of how this kind of recipe kind of came. I knew a girl that went to New Mexico State. She had a big argument with me saying that Las Cruces had the best enchiladas. And so it's kind of a collaboration. Her recipe, my recipe, and she always said in Las Cruces, we always put an egg on top. Well, my mom was from Bernalillo, and they always put an egg on top. So, or a couple eggs. So maybe the Bernalillo enchiladas have 3 eggs, the Las Cruces only 1.
Love it.
Okay.
So what would you like me to do?
Well, what we're gonna do is, if you don't mind, Angela, if you could blanch, let's do 6 of those tortillas.
Sure. I'll get on it.
So just dip them in the deep fryer, just for basically 5 or 6 seconds.
Got it.
Then we have a plate here that we've put a little paper towel down to kind of soak up some of the oil,
Okay.
and then we'll assemble these. We have a small pot of beans on the stove. We, growing up, always served these with beans. Sometimes with potatoes, and for a brunch, you can certainly do potatoes if you want. My mother would make pan-fried potatoes, sliced potatoes with onions. She'd fry them in olive oil, a little bit of garlic and salt, and pan-fried potatoes go really good on this as well. Today we're keeping it kind of simple. We're just using pinto beans. We got a canned pinto bean, and I know some of the New Mexican people are going, canned pinto bean, oh my God. Well, it takes a good, several hours to cook a pot of beans. So what we're doing is we're just simplifying it. I find nothing wrong with canned beans. I've used them all, and they all are very, very good. If you want to cook a pot of beans, like I think Angela cooks a pot of beans and then she saves it. She packages it up, she puts it in the freezer, she puts it in her refrigerator, and uses it as from throughout the week. And that's a great way to do it if you want to cook a whole pot of beans yourself. Simple way. Mom, you get off work, you want to do something simple and quick, open up a can of beans, heat it up on the stove, and saves you a lot of time.
Nice.
I'm almost done here.
No problem.
One more.
So here's our chips and our salsa con queso.
They're
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You never know. I could probably eat that whole bowl. We got some cheese. We're using a blend of cheddar, Colby Jack, which is cheddar, yellow cheddar, and Monterey Jack. The enchiladas come out fantastic this way. And we're going to,
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and bring the sauce over. This is the sauce we're going to use. We've got a big pot of it, so whatever's left over, Angela can use later on.
So I have your blanched tortilla here. And do you need
Yeah, like a ladle.
a little?
Yeah, for the
Perfect.
and I'll just use my fingers for the tortillas.
Okay.
My fingers are used to the heat. And so we're going to put a little bit of sauce down on the plate.
Oh, that looks delicious.
The sauce is really good. You can
Wow.
smell it too.
Yeah, it smells delicious.
The chili and the
I can
garlic.
smell this. So good.
And we're just going to layer these. We're going to put a blue corn tortilla down.
Okay.
We're going to put a little bit of cheese, just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and continue on. A little bit of chili sauce.
Oh, should I get the pan started for the eggs?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can heat that up. It'll take a second. This goes very fast, people. This will melt in the oven. Oh, you put it on the broiler setting. Goes very quick. We'll put a little more sauce.
Okay, got your pan on there.
Okay. We'll put a little more cheese. And then on this last layer, there's some diced onion over there. We all like onion. Can't have enchiladas without onion. Sorry.
I agree.
This would, if I didn't do it this way, my mom would really be mad at me. She always puts some onions in between at least one of the layers.
My mom too. She loves onions on her enchiladas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's New Mexican style right there. So we're going to do the final layer of corn tortilla. And then, if you don't mind bringing the beans over,
Okay.
we'll put those right there.
Do that?
So we've got 3 layers of enchiladas. You can do 2. You can do 4. You can do as many as you want, but it has to be at least 2 or else it's not a stacked enchilada. So we're just
I'm
gonna
sneak behind you and grab some eggs.
okay. So we're gonna put a little bit of beans on there. And like I said, for brunch, if you wanted to add some potatoes, you could. You could also add rice if you wanted to take the time to make it. Then we're just going to go ahead and smother
Whoa, this is coming together really quickly.
with the rest of the sauce. It's very quick.
Oh, okay.
And
I feel
then
like I'm at Sadie's.
it's pretty close. But this particular recipe is designed for the home cook. You know, you make these, and my mom used to make enchiladas just like this.
Awesome.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take some cheese, put it on top. Just a nice even coat. Get some more over here for this one. Okay, and then we're going to take some onion, sprinkle it on top. We're going to do cheese and onion before these go into the broiler. Okay. Now, if you want to, I don't know if both of these will fit. Let's take a look. Yeah, they should fit in there. Just going to put these right in the oven.
And so how long should I keep them in here?
I'd say just a couple minutes. We'll check them here in just a few minutes. It's on the broiler setting, so basically it's just to melt the cheese through. The beans and the sauce that we use were already hot, so it kind of helps melt the cheese in between the layers. And we'll go ahead and put these back on the stove.
Okay.
We'll move those out of our way. And then,
Got it. And would you like to cook the eggs, or do you want me to?
I'll let you do it. You're a great sous chef.
The soup. I'm happy to do
Hey,
it.
Mom.
I don't-
Mom's going to cook the eggs. If, you know, Mom cooked my eggs. I like my eggs sunny side up.
Oh, okay.
You can
See how
cook
much-
them how you guys want them. I'll take 2 eggs on mine. Sometimes I like 3, but today we'll go with 2. And how many do you like, Angela?
I can usually do 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Las Cruces.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm on the Las Cruces side.
Okay.
But I don't want to burn these, so I'm going to pull those out before I start cooking the egg. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, why don't you do that? And then,
I,
What
in
we-
the broiler, I tend to burn stuff.
okay.
Trust me.
Yeah,
She
just
didn't
keep
know.
an eye, and for you people that are out there watching, yeah, keep an eye on your broiler. Hey, I've worked with a lot of stoves, and everyone's different. And this is an electric stove top. The electric broiler may be different than your electric stove or your gas stove at home. So always keep an eye out. My stove at home has a window, which I love, so I can just peek through the window.
Right.
But definitely keep an eye on them because they can go very fast under the broiler.
And I'm notorious for burning things in the broiler, so that's something I have to keep an eye on.
We got a comment. They say that they live in California and they don't usually see blue corn tortillas. Do you have any suggestions as to where we?
Yeah, sure. You could just use yellow corn or white corn, whatever you have available. Let's see it. Let's put that one here.
Okay.
And look at that. That was perfect. You know your broiler.
Yes, I do. And I know I have a lot.
Come
All
on.
right, so I'll get these eggs started.
Okay. So these came out perfect. As you can see, I mean, the cheese is melted great. You see how that looks? They look really, really good. Now, this is how we would do it. This is how my mother would do it. And my aunt. We're going to take some shredded lettuce. Now, you can just buy in the grocery stores nowadays, you can buy pre-shredded lettuce in a bag. You can buy a head of lettuce and just shred it, cut it yourself. You can use, this is iceberg lettuce. This recipe, you can also use leaf lettuce or whatever kind of lettuce that you like. My son grows his own lettuce. Can use that on these enchiladas. And the same with the tomato. So we put a little bit of lettuce. These are just tomatoes that we bought at the store, the little vine ripe tomatoes. You can use pretty much whatever tomato. If you wanted to use Roma tomatoes, you could use that as well. Whatever's most convenient at the store. Okay. So we're just going to garnish. And this is how we would do it at the restaurant as well at Sadie's. You're going to get a plate that looks like this. Not a lot, just a little bit, just for some color. That's already looking really good, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Move this
Just to dig in.
back out of the way. So we can slide those eggs on top whenever they're ready.
I'm not the best at sunny side up, so I don't want to mess this up for you.
A little bit longer. And then usually if you like slide the yolk a little bit, like poke it. Not the yolk, I'm sorry. The white. Yeah. On those sides and like just like almost scramble it. See that? A little trick for you there.
Oh, check it out.
See that?
Tricks of the trade.
Tricks of the trade. You learn that when you've cooked a million eggs.
What would you say is the most popular or the dish you sell most often at Sadie's?
Enchiladas.
Right?
Yeah.
You would think.
Enchiladas, I believe, are our #1 selling dish. Stuffed sopapillas and burritos and tacos are all up there. Then we have some unique dishes that are unique to our restaurant. We have a dish called the Roberto Special, and you take our queso that we make in the restaurant. It's a hamburger patty grilled with onions. We put papitas, which are cubed potatoes, and pinto beans on the plate. Smother that with a chili sauce similar to the one we made. Put the hamburger patty on top of that and smother the whole thing with Chile Con Queso. It's called the Roberto Special. And let me tell you, we have so many people that come from out of town that when they travel, people from New Mexico that travel out of town, the first thing they want to do is come to Sadie's and get a Roberto Special. It's like New Mexican comfort food. So
How close are we?
we're good.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yep, just slide it right on top. Look how beautiful that looks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make one for myself really quick.
So these plates are kind of hot. Let me get the... So there you go. Look at that.
Oh, that looks so delicious.
Yeah.
Yummy.
2 sunny side up eggs. This is brunch. This is New Mexican brunch right here. And like I said, sometimes I throw a 3rd egg on there. I'm just going with 2 today.
Second.
Okay, then we're waiting for Angela to do her egg. While we're doing that, I'm gonna have a little bit of this queso. Now, often my mom would serve this with some probably homemade tortillas on the side. We're not doing that today, but it's always good for dipping. You could use toast.
I see you're using the homemade tortilla chips.
I'm using the chips to dip it.
Medium, yeah. I tanked this one. I busted it, but that's fine.
That's okay.
It can get cut up anyway.
It'll be great to use. This plate looks really good.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of a debate among New Mexicans, but do you think it would be acceptable to use flour tortilla on this recipe?
Flour tortillas on the enchilada? That's a big debate. I don't consider an enchilada. I mean, you could. I would say if you're going to use a flour tortilla, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
No rules, right?
There's no rules. You're making stuff at home. I encourage you, experiment with everything. Oh, look at that. And then there's Angela's. She's got one egg on top, over medium.
Oh, that's so good.
I would, going back to the flour tortilla part, I think if I was going to use a flour tortilla, I would use it as a rolled enchilada, which is more like a burrito actually, but you could certainly do this using flour tortilla, roll them up. You can stuff them with chicken or beef, whatever you want to do. A lot of times we use chicken on these enchiladas, and I would recommend just buying a rotisserie chicken at the grocery store and
Yeah, I do
and
it all the time.
picking the meat, going through it and picking the meat off and using that in here. Or if you're going to roll a burrito or roll an enchilada, use that chicken. You could also use, you know, say you have a leftover roast, beef roast. You could shred that meat, put it on top. You could make a burrito out of it. You can make a rolled enchilada out of it. But my favorite is the rotisserie chickens.
Yeah,
And
I do it all the time.
everybody, any store that makes rotisserie chickens is good to me. I mean, you can get them at Costco, you can get them at Smith's, you can get them at Albertsons, wherever you can get them. They're all good. They're all fantastic. And they make great chicken to use on this, and they make great chicken to use on any of your recipes.
Wow, look at these plates.
Yeah. We just need to dig in. I think we have to have a little margarita
Okay.
since we're staying on our brunch
Sounds
theme.
good to me.
Cheers once again.
Cheers. Thank you so much for cooking with us.
This has been really, really fun. And
Oh,
we're gonna,
that's still delicious. Okay.
yeah. So I like to break my egg, break that yolk.
Oh, okay.
Actually
Put a little bit of everything in there.
get a little bit of beans, get the sauce, get the tortilla. Wow, that looks good.
Yes, it does.
Look at that cheese melted. Great about using a blended cheese too. It's very good. Now, what do you think?
That's fantastic.
Pretty good. Great brunch recipe.
Yeah, and that came together so quickly.
So fast, so easy using our products.
You could do this on a weeknight.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, like I was saying, you can do this breakfast, you can do it for brunch, you can do it for lunch, you can do it for dinner, you can do it for a midnight snack.
Awesome.
It's great. And also, you'll see we used a couple cans of the condensed soup mix and one whole jar of our salsa. And the flavor is perfect. It's not overwhelmingly hot.
Oh,
It's very, very tasty. And you know, your kids could probably eat this. I know my kids could. They loved hot food when they were little. So here we go.
all
Let's
right.
dig in again.
Yeah, I need another bite here for sure.
We got people in the comments saying delicious, A+, looks amazing.
That is
If you
so
could only
flavorful.
see it, it smells great.
I think you're right. Definitely
Take a little chip,
Yep. Dig it all in there.
get the sauce and some beans on there.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Mm.
I'm going to dig into the rest of this.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you so much for being with us today, for showing us some of your favorite home cooked meals and bringing all these amazing products. We're definitely going to link to the website so that you can purchase any of these products. The margaritas are not quite available on the website or online yet, but they will be soon. And thank you again.
You're welcome.
Do you mind us sharing these recipes with everybody?
I don't mind at all.
Awesome.
That's what they're for. We're going to put them out there, and you know, we have tons of products. We have a green chili sauce that you could also use in the sauce. We used our roasted green chili salsa today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can use these products for all kinds of different stuff. We have a red chili sauce. Makes a great carne alevada. Cube up some pork, throw it in your crock pot, add a couple jars of our red chili sauce, set it and forget it.
Oh,
Come home from work, you've got carne alevada
brilliant.
in the crock
I love
pot.
that idea.
And it comes out great. And then you can use that carne alevada. You know, you can eat it straight. You can make burritos out of it. I like to take it and put it on a plate and melt a little cheese on it, or put the salsa con queso on it. It's all good. It's all good.
So thank you all for joining us today. If you have any dishes that you would like to see, New Mexican dishes that
Cheers.
you would like to see in the future, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to try out some of these fantastic products. We're so excited you joined us today, and have a great afternoon. Go make some brunch meals.
Thank you. Enjoy.